Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Oxford Talks. In today's episode, we'll try to get another interview experience with you. And today we have with us Mr. Rahul Kumar, who has been selected as a software development engineer at Boeing. In this interview, we'll try to get some insights about the company and the interview experience in general. So hi Rahul, welcome to our channel. And first of all, congrats on being selected at Boeing.
Thank you, Shashank. So, hey guys, this is Rahul Kumar. I'm originally from Bihar, and I'm pursuing my computer science engineering in BIT. And I got selected in my PEP SEM as an intern in Boeing. And recently, I've been placed as I've been offered as a software engineer. So yeah.
Okay, fine. So, because this interview is about your experience and interview experience at Boeing, so can you please share about your interview experience at Boeing in brief?
Okay, so at first there was a aptitude round which was in our college only. It was taken in offline mode. So it was taken there and we had to pass it out. So there were around 25 MCQ questions and there were no coding questions.
Okay.
So only MCQ questions were there. So we were managed to pass it out and around 14 or 15 of us got selected in that.
MCQ questions were based on?
Those were based on like mathematics of 10th or 11th.
Okay, like the aptitude and the
It
goals.
was not too much advanced maths or it was not too much coding stuff. Some basic like merge sort, what is the complexity of
Goals is for
Yeah.
mathematics, yeah.
So after we cleared that, next day we got a call for interview and around 14 of us got selected there.
Okay.
And to the interview, like we had to appear in the interview. That was also offline.
Okay.
So one thing that was good, like both the things were offline, even the aptitude thing and the interview.
So that's good according to you?
Yeah, and that's good according. Like
Okay.
we get to get
Some people might disagree, but yeah.
Yeah, for me, like getting offline experience is more
It's
important.
more better, yeah.
That's what I said in the interview as well. Like they asked if you want to continue with online mode or offline mode. I said that I want to gain some experience, so I would prefer offline.
To network with people in
Yeah.
yeah.
So 14 of us were there, and my interview was around 11 or something. And there was only one round in the interview.
Okay.
There was no more rounds, and two of them were taking the interview.
Okay.
One was asking me the question, and one was noting down my all the answers that I was giving him. So they told us to bring a copy of resume with us so that they can review it. And in the resume, like I noted my projects, my skills that I have. Basically, my skills lies in Python, and I do some artificial intelligence and machine learning stuff.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
I would like to tell my audience that he's being really humble and like he's very good at AI and ML related stuffs and mainly in OpenCV. Like if anyone follows him on LinkedIn, you can see his projects out there as well, like some really cool projects on OpenCV, AI, ML, and Python in general. So yeah.
For you guys, I'll just like to tell that what are the things that I do.
Yeah.
So I am deeply interested in stuffs like deep learning and computer vision. And I'm also trying to learn generative AI now.
Okay.
So these are some of the domains that I'm really interested with IoT on the as a cherry on the cake. Yeah, it works as a cherry on the cake because it's always better to show hardware things moving around.
Integrated with software. Yeah.
Yeah, people are really fascinated when they see that. So my projects were basically based on computer vision and IoT stuff. So I noted them down in my resume. Then my skills included Python and basics of C and Java.
Okay.
So I do not do coding on C and Java. I do only in Python. And then DSA stuff, I'm not too much into it. So I just wrote it down as that I know basics of DSA.
Okay.
So I was ready for that. If any question bumps around DSA, I can I can just handle it basically. So my interview experience started with one of the very first question was introduction about myself.
Yeah.
So I introduced myself and about my past schoolings and all, my hobbies, which included whatever you do one thing that I would say that never ever lie to them, like, because an interviewer has a very experienced
person.
so he will get to
that.
and he'll get to know in one instant that what are you. Right. So for me, the interview was much of a managerial round, I would say. It was not too much technical for me because the only technical question that I was asked was about my project.
Okay.
So my very first project they asked, and for their ease, because my project, the main fundamental of my project is when you see the output, when you see the main output, the moving things. I cannot show you by connecting hardware things there. I bought it with myself in case they ask. In case they ask anything, I bought it with myself. I can connect it with my laptop and I can show them. So I have this stuff. So what I did was I made a video out of my project, a working project. Made a video out of it, and I attached the QR code in my resume.
Oh.
So that they can scan it there only and they can watch it up.
Okay. That's so smart.
So that's what I told them earlier before starting the interview, that you can watch it out in case if you want to watch the output and out of the video. Yeah. So because that is what will give them the main idea of asking questions. Right? So it started in that way. They asked me some introduction questions. I went into it, and directly they asked me what programming language you do. So I told them Python. Then they said me, what if I change the programming language in our company? What if we are going to change it? So I was like, every programming language is based on some concepts, right?
Yeah, some basic.
Yeah,
basic.
Even in Python, you have object-oriented.
Yeah.
So they were like, Java is completely based on object-oriented language.
Purely.
Yeah. So I was like, in Python also there is object-oriented. So if you know the concepts, shifting is not that hard. Right. So you can shift from programming language to programming language. That's not an issue. So they were like, okay. I said that every programming language has their own, advantage.
Lows and highs.
Yeah, C++ is very fast. It is used for coding.
Very fast. Yeah. Java is more like logical.
It's basically completely based on object-oriented.
Yeah. So everything makes sense.
So from there, directly they went to my project. I explained them the whole project that I'm doing, and what actually is being done. So I was really prepared for my project, and frankly speaking, I was not prepared for much of the coding question. I was prepared it in a way that I would tackle it there only.
Okay.
Because I do not do too much of competitive coding.
Okay. So did they ask you any
No
questions?
That's okay. The only technical question was my project.
Okay, so many of you might be thinking, why didn't ask? Why they didn't ask him any question? So I would like to answer the question because his projects are like so good, so nice that they were maybe happy with seeing the projects only, and they were ready to bet on his skills.
So after I explained them about my project, they were really quite happy that he made something good out of
out of a box, something not like the copied projects or like the standard projects that everyone shows.
Okay, so after the project, they asked a very basic question which may be related to computer science. That is from our software engineering. And the question was, what is SDLC? So software development life cycle. Yeah. And I actually didn't knew the actual meaning of that. So I just knew the full form. And I knew that something it is related to a software cycle. So I told them the full form. They told me that, yes, this is the full form. Exactly, this is the full form. Then what is it about? So I said, I don't know. I literally said that. So they were like, okay, you made a project. You just made us understand that what are you doing. Like initially you did the software part, then you collected items, then you made the hardware part separately, you constructed the software part separately, then you linked both of them, integrated them. So all those parts. So they told this is what is software like that is it. So then I got to understand, and I answered that question again. Like after that little hint, I again started to answer that question.
Hints are really important, and picking up hints is really.
So you have to try to use a presence of mind there as well, because you never know, how can you answer those questions, how even at that instant, keep your mind active. That's what important.
So that was your interview. Any behavioral questions?
Yeah, after the technical questions, that was it. And after that, I was asked some, general question. Then how did you come to know about the company?
Okay.
So like, I knew about the company from my 11th and 12th. Like,
Okay.
when I was in 11th, yeah. Because I was preparing for the defense examinations, and then there I knew, when I studied aircrafts and all, I knew that Boeing is a company which exists.
Okay.
And it's many defense aircrafts in India are related to Boeing.
Okay.
So from there I got to know about Boeing, and there was one question that he asked me that you did this project alone. What if I put you in a team of 5? How would you contribute? How would you blend with them? That was a very good question actually. So I answered it in such a way that I, from my childhood, I have been to different places, right? Because my background is defense.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's what I've been to different places. I've been transferred to different places. So I was able to mingle with people. Yeah,
Every
I communicated with them. Yeah, I have been to different schools. I have been to different people who speak different languages and all. So I am very comfortable with them. So that's from there I answered that question, right? So from that route I answered that question, and they were really impressed with that because I saw that.
Great. Smart technique actually. So you were also intern at Boeing.
Yes.
So how was the experience interning at Boeing, and what was the company like? What did you work on?
So there was around our internship started from 15th of May. Okay, and it ended up on 15th of July.
2 months basically.
Yeah, 2 months of internship, and initially we were given some tasks. We were appointed some mentors and managers. So mentor is a person you have to directly talk to, and
Okay.
manager is a person you have to report to, or the mentor will report to the manager. So everybody of us was placed in different. I think they made it like that. They structured it like that every one of us can get different departments to work on.
Okay.
Like, so we, at the end of the interview round, around 9 of us got selected, and
Out of
14, 9 of us got selected. Right. So all 9 of us were placed in different branches, under different managers, under different mentors. Right. We were not in same team, and that was very, I think, good. And one more thing, that in a week we had to go to offline office 3 days. That was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay.
2 days, Monday and Friday, we had to do it online. So it worked in that way. And the work that I got specifically was developing a web application. It was a web application development which included the use of AngularJS in the front end and .NET Core at the back end.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, I talked to my mentors, I talked to my manager, I got some idea. Actually, they wanted to make a reporting application. So that web application would summarize reports, it would create reports in different formats. And they wanted to implement or integrate that into their, they had an application made, which was published, and they were working on them. So this reporting application was a part or a tool of that, a whole application. The name of the application was ACMS.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was a application there which they were developing, and I had to contribute to that.
So one question I would like to ask you is that, like, you were very comfortable with Python and all these things. So like, how did you work with like completely new technology, which is Angular and .NET? Like, how did you switch to it? And
That's what
was it challenging for you?
absolutely, yes. So it was really challenging for me. Okay, so I've been doing everything in Python, and I like it actually. So switching to something which is different, which is interesting.
But you always have to.
Yeah,
you have to switch.
It's
How
a software programmer. You have to switch to different things. You have to, you have to be versatile. So yeah, I switched onto it. I took the help of my mentors, colleagues who knew things. Like many of my colleagues were there who were assigned similar jobs. there were similar tasks which was related to developing the web application. So I took the help, and we have generative AI tools as well. I would like to state that, because using those generative AI tools is a smart thing nowadays, and I think saying it aloud, it's not a bad thing to say that.
No, absolutely not. Okay. So, what's the work-life balance, work culture in the Boeing? Was it hectic? What?
No, it was what we saw that the environment in the office was pretty chill,
Okay.
and so you can literally come and you can, the only thing that mattered at the end of the day or end of the week of a specific period of time, that you complete the work, right? The given task that is you are
That's what.
doing, yeah,
That's all.
that's what you have to complete it. Do whatever you want to do, take your time. If you are a fast learner, you can do things early on. If you want time, if you want to learn things more and more, you want to learn things and you want to get into every part of the application, then you can take your time and you can develop it. But if you want to do it fast, right, you can just finish the work, you can do things, you can play games there. It was pretty chill,
Okay, so work culture is great.
pretty nice.
Nice and Boeing. Okay. So, now can you please tell us about your preparation strategy for the company and what all did you prepare? When did you start?
So the preparation strategy was basically I did some basics of DSA.
Okay.
So in that, all the computer fundamentals that you study that is related to OS, software engineering, study the basics of that, DBMS, anything could be asked. Like for me, it was quite behavioral and it was related to a project. For my other colleagues, it was basically related to database. Questions were asked on database. It was on a coding question was given to them.
Okay.
Solve it out, or some DSA question were given to them. So you have to be ready with every aspect of especially when you are going to an interview.
Okay.
Right? You have to be ready with that. So the computer fundamental basics is a must. And if you are I would say, if you are a competitive coder, focus on your coding more. Right? Don't focus on your project. If you are a project maker, focus on your project.
Whatever you do, you should know it in depth.
Yeah. If you do both of things, that's the best.
Out of the world. So, like, did you start in the first semester itself, like the toppers start in first day of college, or like you also explored some?
I took some time to analyze what I need to do.
Okay.
So I analyzed things, the technologies that are there, the technologies which I am interested into it. And then I started doing things like in the second sem or third sem, I got to know about some deep learning APIs with work. So I learned in the reverse way. Like I used the APIs first, did things which I am interested in, and then I started training those models and, testing them out, then deploying them.
Okay. Also, I would like to say that Rahul has also been a part of our community. So, would you like to suggest students to join communities, and did they help anything in long run?
Absolutely. Communities are always it's a mode of sharing knowledge between people, right? So you can share your experiences, you can share your knowledge with each other, online or offline. If you conduct online or offline talks like these or events like these, people who know a lot of stuff, they can come and collaborate with people who want to learn a lot of stuff, right? So that's how communities work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, any tips for someone who's preparing for Boeing or like any other company in general who's in first year, second year?
Okay, so the very first thing, be attentive. Don't miss the opportunity. Right? You have to don't miss the opportunity. And the very first thing that I would say is focus on the first step. Focus on the first step in the sense, start to prepare for how to clear the first test, like the aptitude. If you start directly preparing for the interview and you are not preparing for basic things like aptitude or basics of CS and all, you won't be able to get past the first step only. So you want is to interview.
Ultimate fold, yeah.
So the very first thing should be pass. Do things enough that you can get to the first step and you can clear it out.
Yes. Okay, so that's pretty much about it. So thank you all for coming here and talking with us. It was a wonderful experience, and thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Shashank.
Thank you very much.